Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we will learn how you could basically go ahead and change the column sequence over here. So as you could see, we have created a data frame from this particular data structure right here by passing in the data object over here, and this actually converted it into a data frame. So now what if you actually want to specify the column sequence over here? So this is by default column sequence, which is the alphabetical sequence, but in some cases you actually want the name to be present over here, then you want the age, and then you want the salary. So in this case, what we could do is that we could go ahead and mention the column sequence when we actually go ahead and create a data frame itself. So what we will do here is that we will create a new data frame over here. So we'll type in new frame. So let's name this thing as new frame, and in here we will again use the data frame method. So we will type in data frame, and in here you could pass in data, which is this data structure right over here, then give a comma, and after comma what you could do is that you could specify the column sequence by simply typing column equals, and in here in square brackets you could go ahead and specify a column sequence. So let's say you want to specify the column sequence as name to be the first column which you want in your table or in your data frame, then let's say you want the age, and then finally let's say you want the salary. So you could specify the data structure over here, and this is actually going to create a new data frame which is going to be named as new frame. So once you click this button, the code is going to get executed, and I guess there is some mistake over here. So let me quickly go through it. Okay, I actually got my mistake. This should be columns, not column. So once you do that and once you execute this code again, as you could see, there is no error this time, and you could actually check if the frame is created by typing new underscore frame, and when you hit this play button, as you could see, now you have a new data structure or a new data frame with name, age and salary as the new sequence for your data frame. So what if you actually go ahead and mistakenly specify another column over here? So let's say you specify one more column which is going to be called as profile. So you could type in profile over here. So once you do that and once you hit this button right here, as you could see, still this thing has to be executed. So again hit the play button, and as you could see, now you have another column added in your table. And as you could see, as these things, or let's say the profile for John, Tim and Rob are not defined, it actually says NaN, which means basically these fields are not yet defined. So this is how you could go ahead and add another column to your table. But the thing is that as you don't have any values yet for this thing, it's actually going to show you NaN. So this is what happens when you accidentally add another field to your data frame. So now let's learn how you could go ahead and retrieve data as a series from a data frame. So we already know that a series is nothing but it's actually like an array but with an index. So what you could do is that, let's say you want to retrieve some values. Let's say you want to retrieve salaries of all of the people present in your data frame. So you could retrieve that in the form of a series. So you simply need to type in the name of the data frame. So let's type in new frame over here, and in square brackets in single quotes you just need to specify the column name which you want to retrieve. So in this case, as we want to retrieve the salary, we will type in salary over here, and when you hit the run button, as you could see, now you have salaries of multiple people who are present in your table. And as you could see, we also have index position for each of the salary item over here, because this is essentially nothing but a series. Now as we have retrieved the particular column, you could also go ahead and retrieve a particular row. So let's say you want every detail related to Rob. So in that case, what you could do is that you could type in new frame, new underscore frame, and after this what you need to do is that you need to give a dot operator and type in ix. So ix basically means we want to retrieve the values on the x-axis. So as you could see, this thing right here is the x-axis, and this thing right here is commonly known as y-axis. So in order to retrieve values from the x-axis, you type in .ix. Then after that, what you could do is that you could simply specify the index for which you want to retrieve the values. So as we want to retrieve values for Rob, you simply need to define the index for Rob, which is 2 in this case. So if you pass in 2 over here, and if you run this code now, as you could see, now you have each and every detail related to Rob. So this is how you could basically go ahead and perform multiple things on your data frame. So we have actually learned about 3 things in this lecture. The first thing which we have learned is how to go ahead and change the sequence of the columns over here. So you basically do that by using this line of code right here, wherein you simply specify columns over here, and even if you add an extra column over here, it's actually going to be added, but the thing is that the values for each and every row are not going to be defined. And next thing which we learned is how to go ahead and retrieve the column values from a particular data frame in form of a series. That is, you do that by simply typing in the name of the data frame, and then in square brackets you simply need to specify the column name. And after that, the final thing which we learned is how to go ahead and retrieve data from a particular row in a data frame. So this is how we actually do it. The first thing which we do is that we specify the name of that particular data frame, give a dot operator, type in ix, x stands for the x-axis, and then you simply need to specify the index of x-axis. So in this case, as we wanted the information related to Rob, you simply type in 2 over here, and as you could see, you get each and every detail related to Rob. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys learned a few more things about data frames. So these are the things which seem to be simple, but they are extensively used while performing data analysis. So in the next lecture, what we will do is that we will learn how we could go ahead and modify data frames by writing some simple Python code. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.